It is Friday Night Pint, and we are live to talk about an absolutely historic, monumental, massive Sunday of football. West Ham, Leeds, Tottenham, Everton. It don't get much bigger than this. One of us is going to go down. The odds are stacked against us, but can West Ham pull out a miracle and stay up? We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Pickford and what he was seen getting up to the other night after the end of season player awards that maybe don't bode well for West Ham. Oh, I want to slap him in the face. And all the other bits and pieces that come up. So shout out to everyone in the chat. A special shout out to Borough fan, who's now in the playoff final. Well done, mate. Well done, eh? Loving it. Hopefully Borough come up. I'd like to see him do it. So, but yeah, I'm here with Brian. Nikki is running late. Scott was going to come on, but now he can't make it. So Nikki should be here soon. But I thought let's just start because we kept you waiting long enough. But Brian, good to see you, mate. Happy Friday.
Yes. Good as always. And you know what? We've both got pints today, man. This is good.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It is good. It's good. As you said, man, look, it's one of those things where I think before we get into the game and stuff, we have on about 3 occasions this season have got to a point where we've been like, you know what? Sod it, man. We're down. We're done. We started adjusting to that thought and feeling of being in the championship and sort of, you know what I mean, relaxing a little bit. Do you see what I mean? And then the hope kept dragging us back in. And it's no difference really to Sunday. It's one of those ones where, you know, where the odds are stacked against us, we know that, you know, the probabilities are looking not looking good for us. But wouldn't it just be funny? Wouldn't it just be funny if the odds turned around and Spurs went down? And I'm telling you, Dan, I've got receipts. There's so many people, so many Spurs fans, few neutral fans as well. Although we've got a lot of people behind us, a lot of people behind West Ham this week, yeah. But I've got the receipts, man. Pundits, everything. I'm gonna chop it all up. I'm coming for people if we pull off a miracle.
Listen, it's going to be big. Like I was on with Cundy and O'Hara previewing this weekend. That video is on Lawless Live, so you can go check it out after. And yeah, it was tense. You know, both of us were fighting for our teams, and I'm probably going to be on there Monday, and one of us is going to be very uncomfortable on Monday. I'm dreading it if we go down facing him and Cundy, but hopefully, like you said, we can just do the unthinkable and send them down against the odds. So in terms, let me just get into Pickford figures. You know, I only just found this out earlier. Like I bumped into.
I don't even know. I don't even know about it. So this is news to me.
I didn't know about it, right? I bumped into a West Ham fan in the gym, and we was talking about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Pickford and that." Like, I was like, "What? What's this? What is this?" He's like, "Yeah, didn't you hear they was spotted coming out of a strip club?" I was like, "What?" There's video. Jack Grealish and Pickford coming out of it. That's Grealish.
Oh, mate.
And is that Pickford? I think that's Pickford. It's got the little arms. Pickford. Is that Pickford? I can't tell. But they say it's Jordan Pickford. Did I say Jermaine Pickford? Jordan Pickford.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they've seen Pickford and they're end of season player awards, and they've gone out on the lash. Like, for one, Grealish has been injured. Like, what the fuck is he doing trying to take active players out on the piss? Like, and you got Pickford. Like, have some professionalism, man. That worries me for us if they're out on the piss.
Look, back in the day, man, that was a standard thing, wasn't it? You was having players from certain teams like literally the same morning.
It never made sense to me though to have these player awards before the season ended. Like we used to do it why? Why would you do that?
Nah, yeah, it's true. It don't make sense. And you know, you get a lot of teams as well. They end up cancelling it if the players are not performing. But one thing, David Moyes, did you hear David Moyes' press conference?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is a good point, by the way. Yeah, the Palace players went because we still couldn't beat them, but they don't need to. A draw is enough for Spurs. But yeah,
Yeah, man.
Moisey said he wants to keep us up,
Mm,
and they've still got a lot to play for. And that's the thing. Like, and I've said this before, with how much money each place is worth, that no team should be on the beach, because the higher you finish, the more spending power your club has, the more ability you have to improve your team.
mm.
So every player should be trying to finish high as possible. So a top 10 finish would still be big for Everton.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know what? Like, thinking about our two games anyway, in terms of us and the Tottenham game, it's psychological warfare, isn't it? Like, both games are just drenched in some psychological warfare. You know, the players is going to feed, both games are going to feed off each other. And for me, although I said the odds are stacked against us, if you look at it from the Tottenham point of view, we've it's well documented that they've only won two games at home all season. And I feel if Everton score first in that game, even regardless what's going on in our game, if Everton score first in that game, it's just going to be, things could change quickly. And I wouldn't be surprised if, like, everyone sort of like watching it or keeping an eye on both games as neutrals will then sort of turn and be like, rah, you know what, Spurs are going down. So it's about who's got the minerals now, man. I think we just need to go out and do what we need to do. We need to focus on our game and let's get it right. It's a tough game. It's not an easy game. It's quite a lot of us as fans thinking it's a walkover, but Leeds, as me and you have been saying from day one, are no mugs, and they're a very good side, very good side. And do you know what I mean? They're not. I don't feel they'll roll over, but that's a tough game. So we just got to take care of business for ourselves and literally hope for the best. But it's one where if Everton score, man, they're gonna lock the door, and I think it's gonna be like hard for Spurs to
Mm.
crank it up because it just gets psychological again.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. And look, I said this to O'Hara because he's getting giddy. I said is that Moyes is he's built to play a team like a De Zerbi team, like a Spurs De Zerbi, where they are going to be a bit more attacking. The onus is going to be on Spurs at home
Mm,
to be on the front foot. Moyes will do him on the counter. That's going to be his bread and butter. And look, we don't always like it. I've seen a lot of Everton fans unhappy with Moyes and wanting him out. But all we care about is the result. I don't care about the performance. Just get the result. If Moyes can scumbag, a 1-0 win or whatever, that's all that matters. And he's a legend for life. And as for us, like I said, we just have to bloody win.
yeah,
We have to win our game. That's it.
yeah.
Like, because if you win your game, whatever happens, it's out of your hands, right? If we don't win our fucking game and Spurs were to lose, that would be unforgivable.
Well, there's so many permutations down that ain't going to be forgivable. So that's one. The other one is the goal difference one, man. That is the killer
Yeah,
as
to go
well.
down on goal difference would be
Yeah,
crushing.
yeah. That will hurt. We we've said throughout the season how many chances we've had to kind of like take charge of things and open the gap to 5 points and ending up bottling it. So then that's what's going to happen. The autopsy, we're going to start reviewing going back and re-victimizing ourselves again by looking at all the opportunities and
We're gonna do
chances
it. It's gonna
we've had.
happen, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Fact of the matter is, anyway, look, we only started playing from January, innit, man? From 21 games in, that's when we actually started to compete. We found a formula that worked. And yeah, like, but at the moment, with losing four in a bounce, it just makes it a little bit more difficult. And I'm very, very, very curious to see what formation and personnel. Well, the formation is straightforward. It's more about the personnel that Nuno deploys on Sunday. I'm interested because, yeah, I think it's a gimme that he'll go 4-4-2, but I still think there's an argument to be had in terms of who partners Tatty, because Tatty will start.
Yeah. I
on
swear
Sunday.
to God, if he dares plays a back five, if he dares to play that, I will. I don't even want to say. I don't even want to say.
Yeah,
Yeah. He
yeah,
just don't even think about it. William says, if you win and Tottenham lose, will you get a David Moyes tattoo? If I was a person that had tattoos, I would get one, but I'm not a tattoo person. You'll
yeah.
never see a tattoo on my body. But if I was a sort of person, then I would do that.
That just
This
sounds
is
like
not.
foolishness to me.
We kick off the same time as Spurs, I believe, Barry.
All the games, isn't it? All the games
Yeah,
kick off at the
every
same time.
game's on at the same time. Like, this is the biggest game of the weekend now because the league's wrapped up. Like, all eyes are going to be on this game. It doesn't get bigger than this. And Rich is right. We're all Moyes fans. Sunday, and what does Moyes do? He wins. That's what he does. He wins. Remember? Yeah.
I could see Sullivan being on the phone to him as well, man. Like leading up to the game, man. You know what I mean?
Fucking hell, that's
So
all he probably wants. That fucker ringing him up. Oh God, yeah, there's 9 scenarios, only one where West Ham stay up. Yep, we
yeah,
won, and it's our fault that it's like that. We
yeah.
couldn't even get a draw against Newcastle to give us more of a chance. You know,
Yeah.
we played for a draw and got a loss.
And you know what?
Um,
That's a good point because the thing is, I think if the scenarios, if it increased in our favour, even by just one or two, so for instance, with one of them being Spurs needed to win on Sunday, I think that would make it a lot more roll in our favour. I feel if that was the odd stats against them, it's quite a funny one for them because they just need a point. So mentality wise, it is around how are they going to approach it. We obviously know what we need to do. We just need to win the game and just go all out and throw everything.
yeah.
But with the draw thing, it's it's an interesting one how they're going to apply themselves.
100%. And I can make that consolation is if we stay up and Moyes wins and we win, I will get a Moyes picture to go behind me. 100%. 100%. That's a deal. That's a deal.
Definitely.
So yeah, the benefit is right in this game is like Nuno has to go for it now. Like he has no choice. There's no more, trying to play for a draw and hoping to maybe nick a win and play cautious. Like we have to win. We're out of games. This is it.
Mm.
So that could force Nuno to just do the one thing that he should have done against Newcastle and against Palace. So that's a positive.
Yeah, for sure. There's a side to me as well that still thinks there's gonna be an element of cautiousness. I don't think we're gonna like fly out the blocks immediately, which is what we probably should do. I still feel with it Nuno being Nuno, there's gonna still be that sort of like handbrake partially on. But yeah, I think he has to go for it. The first 20 minutes to half an hour is crucial in this game, and the first goal is obviously massively crucial in this game. The thing is as well, what I hope doesn't happen is we put a lot of energy into it and then gas out. Do you know what I mean? Because if we then gas out, it's going to lead to unforced errors, which is something we've been doing for the last 3 years. Lapses of concentration, players not cutting out passes, players letting opposition players running behind, all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff I'm concerned about. And the thing is, where our squad is so thin, we don't really have a plan B. So if we go for our 4-4-2 and we play with a lineup that, let's just say, includes Tatty and Wilson up top, we go for it gun ho. if we go up and we're winning, we've got something to hold on to, we keep going. There isn't no alternative. So if players are getting gassed out, we ain't really got anything that we do is just like something that's going to be a downgrade. And that's always been my concern with us this season, particularly. And that's one of the reasons we've been in the situation that we are in, is that our squad depth is arguably the worst in the league.
Yeah, that is it. And I think it was a couple of games ago, it might have been Arsenal, and I was sitting there and going, "What we got on the bench?" And it's literally just Wilson. Like if it's Say and Pablo starting, we ain't even got Traore anymore. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And it's just a bunch of defensive players. Like Kante offers something going forward, but you're not relying on Kante to go and get you a goal, you know, or help create the goal. Like he can help in that regard, but it is horrific how much money we have spent over the past few years for us to have that much of a piss poor, weak squad depth. And it's even worse when you consider the amount of players that we have loaned out this season. It is
Yeah,
crazy.
no, absolutely. You know, like in the press conference today, one of the things they were pressing Nuno on was the fact that Bowen's form. So it kind of started with the whole admission of him not being in the World Cup squad, and that then turned to his form, the fact that he hasn't scored in 12 league games, and how does he feel about that, etc. And, you know, questioning the age-old argument about the captaincy. And Nuno sort of stood firm with that and stood strong and sort of said, you know, despite the ambition for the World Cup, but he's very much focused on Sunday. You know, he's a leader, leads by example, all that kind of stuff. And I just think, like, when I think about Bowen specifically, there are like so many variables as to why his form has been how it is. Now, we've all said about the numbers and that, and yeah, the numbers are decent, but if you do the eye test, and we all can see Bowen is not the Bowen of old. I do believe personally he might have been carrying an injury of some sort this season. But in addition to that, if you look at, there are several factors. If you look at the systems we've played, he's pretty much doing a lot more defending than he has in the past. Um, Strikers that we've had in the past were ones that like to link up play. If you take Antonio, flick balls around the corner, that would benefit Bowen. Paqueta playing in the number 10 role, always would be looking for that Bowen darting run. Bowen's not really been in that position where offensively he's in that final third where he can get the ball and he's gone. He's also
He was
lost
in
a bit
that
of pace.
position to play in, I think it was Somerville or someone put it on a plate and he decided to just roll it to the keeper.
Now, you know what? I think he made the right choice in shooting. Like when you look at the replay again, shooting was definitely the right choice, but the execution was
Yeah,
terrible.
but that's the
Execution
problem.
was
It's not
terrible.
the right choice if you're not going to execute it. Like if you're going to do it, if you're going to decide, right, I'm going to shoot, you better fucking make it a good one. I'm not saying like you
Yeah.
definitely have to score, but to do that, like not even to put enough power on it to cause the keeper to parry it back into danger. You've just rolled it into him when you had someone there who had space in the box, and you could have played him in, and maybe it would, you know, they might not have scored, but I'm sure it would have been a better scenario than you just gently roll. That's the problem, and I've seen that a lot from Bowen this season. So listen, he's always going to give everything, and I'll never doubt his effort and his intent, but he has to own up to the quality. And yeah, there probably are excuses there for sure, and he's playing in a crap team, but at the end of the day, he's just been given a massive new contract. You know, he's our captain. Like, we need more from him.
Yeah,
You know?
100%. That was arguably his worst game of the season, you know. That was
Yeah,
arguably his worst
that's the
game of
only
the
thing I
season.
can recall him doing in the game.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
So that's the problem. Is I think for us is, you know, when you have a player like Bowen, you know, he's your talisman. You rely on him and you expect him to be that player for you, and he has not been that player. In fact, Somerville, if anything's been that player. I know he hasn't been in the goals, but like still, he's probably the player that looks our biggest threat going forward and causes the most problems going forward. And
Yeah,
you know, I know Bowen hasn't got the pace of a Somerville, but yeah, Somerville's making an impact, and Bowen just isn't at the moment. And I really hope, like, whatever's going, like that England, that him missing out on England squad, that needs to fire him up. And I think it was deserved. Listen, that
yeah,
England squad is a fucking joke. It's an embarrassment. Listen, I'm not the biggest Super England fan of everyone,
yeah.
but But when the World Cup and all that's on, right, then then I care more. But when I see the names in that, mate, oh, that's embarrassing. So Bowen should kind of feel aggrieved, but he doesn't deserve to be there. But there are a lot of players that are going that don't deserve to be there.
Yeah,
That's
100%. And the thing is as well, like from a selfish point of view, um, Bowen's admission was not even mentioned at all. Do you know what I mean? Like no one's really talking about that because no one don't really see it as a big admission. So and yeah, there's a lot of players that have got admitted. But like you said, hopefully that's a kick up the backside that gives him the fire he needs to kind of get onto it for Sunday and then go and have a holiday.
Yeah. That's it. Now he's got something to. But the thing is, it just frustrates me because every time I look at him, we go, yeah, we need to fight. We need to. So I've said this before. Everything I was saying, I remember we did a Friday night pint before the Newcastle game, and we give it all the big. This game is huge. That we have to win. We need to be on it from the start. And I know Nuno sort of cut our fucking balls off, with that formation, but still. And even Bowen came out and was like and said, it's not. We can't just look at the formation. It's us, the players, and we can't just blame mistakes because it's true and mistakes are made. But it's crazy. So cheers, mate. So yeah, that's what frustrates me is there's been so many games this season where we have to go for it, we have to fight, we have to press, we have to tackle, and then we don't do it. And this is the thing. And that's the crazy thing is even Newcastle fans wanted us to win, but their team looked like they were the ones that had to win compared to us. We looked like we were on the beach and our fans didn't give a shit.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. I mean, from the get-go with that game, I think once everyone saw the lineup and we were playing the 3 or the 5 at the back, however you want to look at it, we all thought, yeah, this is not the right play. But then what made it actually worse was seeing that Wilson was going to be the one player up front, and it just don't make sense. It don't make sense. And then in doing that, that was always going to impact our wingers in terms of Bowen and Somerville anyway, in terms of they would have to do a lot more of the donkey work. But yeah, you're right. We've been here again. And that's why, I don't know, for some reason, I feel Sunday's slightly different in a sense that we got nothing to lose, man. Do you know what I mean? We got nothing to lose, and it will just be so Spursy if it goes our way. If it don't, it's one of them things where it's kind of like anticlimax for most people because everyone would be expecting that to be the case in terms of us, getting relegated. But I think before, when it's always been a situation, there's been things to play for. We've had so many chances, and as you said, it just hasn't worked out. It hasn't worked out for many reasons. I don't think there's been one reason. Some people will say, yep, it's straight Nuno, or some will say it's a combination of Nuno and the players. It's not good enough, man. And to be honest with you, both teams have been garbage, man. Like, if you could relegate both of us, that's actually what is deserved.
We both deserve to go down.
We both
deserve to go down, 100%.
Tottenham have been a disgrace, and the fact that we're below them, knowing how bad they've been, just typifies how it is.
Do you know what pisses me off? Right, I don't want to make it because all I hear from him is injuries. But at least they can say that we've near enough got a fully fit fucking squad. Like we've near enough got a fully fit. And I know our squad depth is shit, which does show how bad. In fact, do you know what? They've got all them injuries, and they've probably got more squad depth than us. That's 100%. The crazy thing. Yeah. Like they miss all the players they're missing, and you still look at and listen. Kolo Muani is one of the worst football players I've ever seen in my life. Man. I mean, that they're starting him shows they're honest. But it's I wanted to get your opinion on this, Areola, because I just think dropping him. I remember when we dropped him, and it was just because it weren't like he had this horrific game off the back, and it was just Nuno decided to go for Hermansen, right, which is someone he was going to swap wanted to swap for Kinski. And now I'm seeing Kinski's latest performance. I'm thinking Nuno maybe was cooking it. And I was baffled at the time. But like, I just think that with Areola, okay, you haven't got the passing and the playing out from the back, but I'm not into that. I'm not about this passing goalkeepers, like, especially when you're down in the shit. Like, okay, if you're Man City, yeah, go on, ping it around the back all you like. But when you're a team's fighting survival, just get it the fuck away from the goal. And I think Areola is an experienced keeper, and he's been experienced in relegation battles as well. And I think Hermansen took a lot of credit for clean sheets. But I think that also coincided with our defence getting drastically better. So I think it was harsh to drop Areola and keep him out. And I think a little bit naive in the situation we were in, because I think Areola is a better shot stopper than Hermansen.
Look, here's my take on it. I'm a big Areola fan, 100%. If we're talking about goalkeeping and shot stopping, there's no contest. He's definitely better at that. What we've got to remember is a couple of things. One, Nuno is a goalkeeper, so he's definitely more qualified to kind of make that assessment on a wider scale around who he thinks is better for the team and what the plan is. Secondly, when it comes to how the game has evolved in the last 8 to 10 years, with the need of goalies playing out for the back, it's become a part of managers' strategies, and this has bled right down into like non-league. You've got goalkeepers now trying to be like a sweeper and stuff like that, and the whole tactical breakdown about that is simple. It's basically is like chess, isn't it? It's trying to cat and mouse the opposition into like making gaps that you can then basically create overlaps, etc. And then the other side of it as well is if you lump it back, the ball's likely to come back to you in your half within 15 or less seconds. And this is what I mean in terms
if you've
of
got
like,
players battling though, Brian, right? And
yeah,
and look, there is a chance that even if you do that, it can come back. But I just feel like if you've got players that can press, that can fight and try and put in the like if you're just gonna let it go to the other team and stand off and invite them on and go, right, you have the space, and we'll just, and which Nuno tends to like to do at times. We'll wait for you to make a mistake, or we'll defend in our own half. So maybe there's something.
Yeah, look, I think if we had like a load of 6'5" plus players that are in midfield or the final third, like in addition to Souček, I'd have no problems with hitting it long, because it becomes a strategy. It becomes hitting diagonals for the knockdowns and winning second balls, etc. But I think we don't have that, and so it has become a thing whereby bringing Hermansen in, like it or lump it, it has coincided with the defense being better, but that's partly due to the communication. Because when it comes down to it, Mavropanos and Disasi are actually decent on the ball. So like, there's only probably been a couple of times where it's looked clunky, it's looked uncomfortable playing out from the back, it's looked a little bit lastminute.com. Overall, it's been okay. Now, I'm not a fan of it myself, a bit like you, but I just feel the game's evolved, and it goes back 8 years from when Guardiola got rid of Joe Hart. Same thing, good goalkeeper, good shot stopper, but he didn't fit into that mold of what Guardiola wanted to do. And that
when you're a relegation team, though, and you're trying to do what Guardiola does with a defense that have leaked goals galore, I just think it's a little bit suicidal when you've got what we've got, and our defense have improved, but especially going against attacks that are better, and you're away from home, and you're playing so defensive as well. You're playing 5 at the back, you're sitting deep, and then you're playing it out from the back when you're already inviting them on. That just seems a bit counterintuitive to me.
Yeah, listen, I don't disagree, but I was just trying to explain it from the strategic point of view, because our opposition is we're always gonna go up against a team that's gonna have at least an extra man in midfield or an extra man in attack. So the aim of the whole playing out from the back is producing the cat and mouse for one or two people to then press that, and then for the goalkeeper, whoever, to then play, and then that ball gets brought up. Do you know what I mean? So, but I
It
get
don't
it.
help when the fucking players aren't breaking their necks to try and get back when there is the mistake, because you've got to anticipate that those mistakes can happen when you're playing it out from the back. Like you have to anticipate that.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree with that, and I think for us as well, I've never had a problem, say, like with the centre backs being in a position where they can receive the ball. It's mainly our fullbacks. I don't think our fullbacks, whatever combination it's been, has been comfortable in applying that, and they've always there's lapses of concentration in our fullbacks on both sides. I take out Walker Peters in that, but the only thing with Walker Peters is that as good a shift he can put in from a defensive point of view, we as a team will lack offensive attacks with Walker Peters playing in. And if you think of, say, like the relationship that Bowen has with Wan-Bissaka versus the relationship Bowen has with Walker Peters, it's night and day. You know, Bowen and Wan-Bissaka has a better sort of relationship when it comes to overlaps and sort of knowing where Walker Peters is. His default is, I'm not crossing that halfway line. Do you know what I mean?
Although Wan-Bissaka was pretty poor the other day. I was quite, because I've been saying that I bring Wan-Bissaka, but you know, defensively, I think Wan-Bissaka, like, he's just lazy at times. Like, we know he can get back. We know he's got pace to do it. He is the 1v1 demon. But there's so many times where we'll just stand there and watch players go through, and that's I can't forgive that. Shout out to Living Proof for the £5 super chat, lads. I really think it's Spurs' time to drop. They're poor, under pressure at home. I don't think the bus parade is going to help them. Areola, the one for me. You're right. Remember what happened last time they did the one in bus things? I think they got smashed by Palace 3-0 or something.
No, Forest 3-0 at home.
Oh, Forest.
Remember, we were playing Villa at that time. We lost to Villa away.
Oh yeah, Villa thought they decided to turn up against us, but not Spurs. Has the nerves, mate, all the way to the final game, make or break. The nerves are all over the place, mate. It's horrible. And when you're doing these shows and stuff like that to try and talk about, it's so hard to talk about because the nerves are so high. You know, me and Nikki was on. You might have seen it on this channel, the We Are Tottenham TV lads. We did that, and you're having to. The nerves are there, but you're still having to back your team. And it's the same with Jamie O'Hara. Like, I can't, if I'm not about to just roll over and go, you want to win, like, you got to back the team, even though the nerves are massive. And I just hope that the players step up for us. Do you know what I mean? And it's going to be horrible because I'm going to be doing the watch. I'm going to have both games on. And it's double the chance. Like, when they get a chance, it's going to be getting heart attack. When we get a chance to Leeds, it is absolutely horrible. But yeah, the nerves are massive. I just hope the players don't feel like I feel, because I wouldn't be able to play on Sunday.
What we need, man, is we need some of the players to show the tenacity that Taki showed in the last game, man, or the last couple of games. You know, his real sort of spirit and energy, like, you know, it outweighs his output, but that fight, that determination cannot be questioned. And I think a lot of the players have lacked that on a consistent basis. I would say, like, the levels have improved from January in terms of fighting spirit, but in terms, you know, there's a couple of games, if you look at that, and even the Brentford game, there were moments in both games where the players checked out. They were like, we're done. So I'm just going to chop this guy down, out of retribution. Do you know what I mean? But that's what we need, man. We need some real fight, because playing at home, that will just get the fans right behind the team, revving it up. I think the atmosphere is going to be really good on Sunday. You know, I think the atmosphere will be good. But it's one of those things where, depending on what happens, will determine the atmosphere.
Yeah,
you see what I mean?
Spurs score early, that could knock the arse out of the fan base. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, that could really affect it. So we just need to hope we can score as early as possible and have that impact on them. You know, because if we're in the ground, all the fans are starting to hear that Spurs are losing, that just and lifts us
Yeah.
even more. Like it's
Trust
so.
me.
That's why it so annoys me is that it could have been in our hands, man. It could have been
Yeah.
in our hands, and like it's in their hands. Like for them, they just need to win or draw. They need to draw, but they should be going for the win, right? But they'll have like win, beat Everton. If we fall short and get draw, we're up. Like sometimes maybe that pressure could get to them of that expectation, and the longer their game goes without them scoring, and then the chances they might concede to Everton, it could have the other effect.
You know what the mad thing is, right? So imagine if it was role reversal a little bit. So we had the 2 point advantage and needed a point. I would probably be more nervous, because think about it. We got Nuno at the wheel. We just need a point. The application in terms of what the game plan would be, we know it would be shut up shop. It would be safety first and all that kind of stuff. And if that blows up in your face and you go one down or worse to the effect, two down, there's no coming back. So like with it being what it is, the points and everything aside, but I'm just saying, with it being like a straight outcome for us in terms of we have to win and nothing else is acceptable, then I kind of feel it. I'm very curious to see, how it's gonna go. We just need to go all out for that, man. It needs to be like the quarterfinals of the FA Cup in terms of that mentality, that little switch that we had when to get the goals back, and you know what I mean. That's
Yeah.
what we need.
We'll go into starting 11 in a sec. I want to talk about a bit of Leeds team news. This was Fark said Gruev is still out. Goodmanson is still out. Noah Okafor is still out. Struck, isn't it? Struck's back in training, hopefully available. Bogle is back in training, could be available. Statch, a bit mixed news. He's not available for the game. Longstaff is out. So that's a lot of injuries. And the thing is, like, if you're Leeds, and I know what I said earlier about like every place. I mean, where could Leeds potentially finish? But for them, it's like if these players are 50-50, why would you risk them in a game like this? Leeds, the highest they can finish is 11th. However, that requires the teams above them not picking up points.
Right.
But so yeah, like for them, like, am I gonna risk some of these players to rush them back when we're safe? I don't know, but that's a lot of. And as E20 says,
Yes, James.
yeah, no, their bench is weak. So for them, I can't see them risking those players.
The thing is though, like, regardless of the team Leeds put out, they they'll put out the strongest team that they possibly can. In terms of how the players apply themselves, that's questionable. I don't think they're really bothered about this. Their own fans, man, who have been great, by the way, in terms of like backing our team massively over the last 8 weeks or so. They've been backing our team. Generally, there's been good camaraderie between the two fan bases, etc. But their fans don't, you know what I mean? They don't really care about this game, and they want Tottenham to go down. So it will be really interesting how they come and approach the game. But I do think Farker will put out his strongest side for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because I don't know how many of the players are going to the World Cup, but like I think that's going to be in your mind. Like, this is one more game, and then it's the World Cup, so that could be in their minds. You hope. Whereas us, it's like, okay, there is the World, but do you want to have a relegation on your name? Like, and I just think that feeling at the end of the game, if we go down, will be the complete opposite to what they could feel. That jubilation if we stay up, even if they're going or leaving at the end of the season. Like again, and I've said this before, I expect us to be the team that's fighting the hardest in this game. And when I say like we should be going for it, like not necessarily high line for life, mate, leave the back door open, but, and I always go back to this game, at the very least, give me Arsenal away last season.
Yeah.
Give me that. Give me the fucking tackles, trying to win the ball high up the pitch, starting them counter attacks and whatever it is. I'm not saying we have to ping the ball around like prime Barcelona. I just want fight. That's it. I know it's a cliche. Oh, just fight, but I want that effort. I see it from so many other teams, and I don't see it from us. Even Everton, I've seen like last season when they're coming from behind and they go, right, let's start putting that pressure on. But not West Ham. Nuno has no balls intent. Spurs won't lose. Finito. Hopefully you're wrong, Coral, mate. Thanks for the super chat. I don't know, man. It's a tough one with Spurs. Like, their attack is truly horrendous. Richarlison has goals in him, but when you have a front three of Richarlison, Tell, and Mawani, I mean, that's up there. That's as bad as front threes go, isn't it? Sure. Like,
yeah, I think Richarlison's had his best goal scoring season, isn't it, for them?
Which is crazy because you look at the chances he misses.
Yeah.
And just like I've seen, certain games you just go, what the hell is he doing? Like, but yeah, as a front,
it's a madness. Yeah, I mean, look, with Tottenham, there's always for them, even over the last, since De Zerbi's come in, okay, there's definitely been an improvement, but they haven't looked like massively great. I think the best performance they've sort of put in has been the game against Brighton. Okay, you can say the Villa game, but they were playing against zombies, so we're going to scrap that one there. But there's all in each of those games, bar the Villa game, there's always been moments when they've lost their heads. Like, the confidence is kind of like something has happened that has then sort of then changed and altered how the game has gone, the trajectory of the game based on their confidence. And I think that's going to be the same. It'd probably be like that from the outset. I think that game out of the two will be the more nervy game. Do you know what I mean? There'll be a lot of caution, not much happening, because if you consider the way we all know how Everton's going to set up, right? So I think Spurs' nervousness is going to add a bit of a caginess to this, which is why it could be, unfortunately or fortunately, one of those afternoons that it's a long ride. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be like second half, 75th minute, and we're still waiting for like that moment. Do you know what I mean? That determines the outcome.
Yeah,
Oh man,
I'm dreading it. Joe says Arsenal have a terrible front three, are about to do a double. Like, let's have some perspective, Joe. Like, you want to compare Arsenal's front three to Tottenham's? Like, it's not
yeah, come on,
discussion. Like, when you say terrible, mate, come on. Would you start Kante?
No. I don't think it's time for anything kinky right about now. There's no time for experimenting. There's no time for doing something that we haven't done for a long time or we haven't done before. And this even goes with the Areola thing. I'm not doing the Areola thing because it's not, you know what I mean? The communication between the goalkeeper and the back four or however many, but mainly, let's just say Mavropanos and Disasi, has been what it is for a sustained period of time now. So it's too late to be changing things around. Do you know what I mean? Because that minor change, even just that goalkeeper change, that alters so much tactically. Like I'm saying, from going from playing out the back or goalkeeper to not taking goal kicks to all of that stuff. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't be doing things like that now, bringing in Kante. As much as I like him, I really like him, and I would play him higher up as well. But yeah, I wouldn't start him. I would definitely.
Okay, so going to the question we had earlier, then, who are you starting? What is your starting 11?
I think for me, the starting lineup is really simple. We go back to the 4-4-2, and I'll do it in reverse order. So at top, I'll have Tatty, and I will have Wilson. And me saying start Wilson it goes against everything I think is right on a tactical level. Yeah, like that's not the right play tactical level, and there's no one coming on. So me saying that is like a That's a big change, yeah. So Tatty and Wilson up top, the midfield four is pretty much standard with Fernandez and Souček, and obviously the wingers we know. And then from a defensive point of view, there's only like one position I feel that needs to be discussed, and that's who plays at right back. Is it Walker Peters or is it Wan-Bissaka? For me, despite the lapses in concentration, I would still play Wan-Bissaka just for the prospect of output and giving Bowen and having that relationship with Bowen, creating overlaps for Bowen. I would go for that, because going the other way with Walker Peters, who is the better defender, that just says to me safety first. You know what I mean? So that would be my team 4-4-2 with the main
I wanted
decision.
Tatty and Wilson against Newcastle, and he just gave us Wilson on his own. However, I think he's just going to go back to Tatty and Pablo in this game.
I wouldn't be mad at that. Personally, I would not be mad at that, because
it's worked.
Yeah,
Pablo makes me so angry though, just seeing how bad he is as a footballer. Like when I see him without the ball, I go, "Wow, look at this guy. He's great." As soon as he gets on that ball, I'm like, "What the heck? Is this guy even a footballer?" Like, I could do better than him.
What we need from Pablo, man, is a man of the match performance, hat trick. You know what I mean?
If there is a time
on his knees,
Pablo to score, I swear to God, this game. If he fucking scores in this game, I'm getting a shirt from OK Jerseys. I'm getting Pablo on the back, mate. He scores the winner and keeps us up like that. His transfer fee justified. If he helps keep us up on Sunday, do you know what? Just popped in my head, right? I want to get your opinion on this, right? Because Nicky said something on the show we did with the Tottenham lads that really shocked me. That he wants us to go down because he thinks it will be better for the club because we can rebuild and it's going to be so good because we get loads of players out and we can start and rise again. So he wants us to go down as opposed to staying up and, nothing changing, which I can't. I personally can't agree with it. I can't support that.
Yeah. The funny thing is, right, there's quite a few people that have said what Nicky's saying, and there's an element of me that can see where he's coming from. However, that's not for me neither. The fact of the matter is, if we stay up or go down, next season's going to be shit. Do you know what I mean? We stay up, it's going to be a repeat. Literally, it's going to repeat with less players. Do you know what I mean? And we're ending up going to be looking for bargain basements. We're going to increase our debt by getting more money in, and then that whole thing is going to happen again. But the thing with what Nicky's saying is that there's no guarantees. Do you see what I'm saying? The rebuild could be something that could be catastrophic, and we could be like a Leeds or Nottingham Forest or.
This is what I said to him. Like,
yeah,
you can go back and watch the show. Like I said to him, you're trusting Sullivan with that rebuild. You're trusting him to pick the right manager because Nuno will go, and then you're trusting him to either sort the recruitment out himself or hire the right person to get the recruitment right. And his thing is, well, Bowen will probably stay and we'll attract all these top players and all these top managers. It's like, I don't think we're going to have the luxury that we had last time we went down. That was he done it before, which was like 15 years ago. We've got Big Sam, who happened to get a player like Kevin Nolan. You're not going to get, I think, players this time at this stage to drop down into the Championship, not with all the money. Bowen could definitely leave, and he was very cagey in the interview. There's no guarantee he's staying, and all these other Premier League level players are staying. Maybe Souček will stay, but Souček alone ain't enough to get us to the Premier League. Souček's not going to have a Kevin Nolan impact, and we're not going to get because when we got Big Sam, whatever people think about Big Sam was too good for the Championship. Like that was a big get for the Championship, and even then we almost fucking bottled it. We came this close. We had Colton Cole stayed with us. You had Kevin Nolan, you had Big Sam, and we just about went up in the playoffs. Yeah. And we're thinking now where it's harder, the money is so much more of a, the financial state we're in is a lot worse. Like we're going to sign Premier League players and a Premier League level manager, and we're going to bounce back up because we're West Ham. Nah, I'm not. I don't want to take
Yeah.
that chance.
Nah, no way. And I wonder though. Sort of like, I wonder what the situation is with the players in terms of if there have been any discussions with either key players, I'm sure, but the wider squad in terms of, what if, because we know there's going to be a hella pay cut anyway, but have discussions been held due to the fact that the club's in financial debt, that, key players, yep, the handshake's already been done, you're going to leave. You mentioned Souček. I think, look, Souček is one of the players that will go just because of the contract. If you remember, the talk was about 2 months ago, they're not looking to renew the contract. That was the sort of like the whispers that was had, and I think we even had a conversation on it on Friday Night Pint about that. But
He could
there
go
are certain,
Everton. Like Everton, Moyes will be on his knees.
Oh man, that's what I was saying. So I think that I wonder, because that also plays in the psyche of the players in terms of the mentality. You'll have ones that be like, you know what, I'm gone anyway, so what the hell? But like you said, no one wants the relegation against their name. No one wants that.
Do you know what? Just quickly, just sidetrack before we get back on this relegation thing. Do you see this Romero stuff? Like,
Yeah.
Romero, Tottenham's captain, has literally just fucked off to Argentina to watch.
Mad.
I can't remember what team it is. It's an Argentinian team, beginning with B. He's gone to watch this team because they have like a massive game. I don't know if it's a league title game or something like that.
Yeah.
So instead of actually going to watch the team that he captains play one of their biggest ever games, he's gone to watch some other team. That
Madness.
just sums it up, man. That sums it up. That is horrific.
He can't play for that club again. You know what I mean? He can't play for that club again, man.
Nah. At the very least, cannot captain him. But yeah, can't play for that club. I mean, that is what a slap in the face. Apparently, Kudus hasn't been to watch him like since he got injured.
Yeah.
Either. Apparently, he sort of blames people at Spurs for this injury setback he's had.
It's crazy because he's never really had injuries, across his, you look at his career, he's not had long-term injuries. So this is the first, you know what it's like when you have like a bad injury, it can be a thing now. You know what I mean?
This is the same, but this is the same club that had a guy who done his ACL jumping up and down. Like,
yeah.
So it don't surprise me that this is the first time he's had injury issues at Spurs. Yeah. But for it says a lot when a lot of these injured players, like Maddison, like you can see Maddison cares. Like Maddison, was there every game, cheerleading, all of that. Kudus don't care. Romero clearly does not care and probably can't wait to get out of there. Like, I think that's poor. Like, if that game to not be there cheering on your teammates and supporting them and showing up for the fans is listen, I hate Spurs, but that's disgusting.
Yeah. No,
I'd be
100%.
fuming. Imagine if Bowen was injured and just didn't went off to watch Hereford on the last
madness. Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the disgrace about it. Like, if you swap it around, you would never, ever see Bowen do that. Do you know what I mean? And it's just, it's not a good look.
Captain, man. Like, insane. So, like, hopefully stuff like that, and the fact that story's doing the rounds, hopefully that works in our favour. Because that is a terrible look. So it's them little things like that show you that things ain't all right behind the scenes, as De Zerbi likes to paint and make out. And De Zerbi even come out and was like, well, Ben Davies is going to be here. And Ben Davies said he really wants to be here. And that shows, people who are leaders in different ways. And he kind of threw shots at Romero and speaking up Ben Davies. But yeah, it's crazy. But just lastly on the relegation thing, yeah, I don't think it'd be good for West Ham. There's always a chance we could luck into it. We got 2 extra playoff slots now, but I just think with the financial mess we're in, yes, okay, we could potentially attract players that are, the top players or whatever in the Championship, but can we pay those wages? Can we pay competitive wages because of the situation we're in? you know,
Yeah.
and that's the issue.
Either way, it's not good, but it's more of a long-term thing, not good. I think for next season, the strategy is literally going to be we're going to borrow more money as a club. So we'll have money, we'll have money, but it'll be limited cash that we can throw around. But the main source of generating income will be to sell players and then use that money very wisely and stretch it. So yeah, again, man, it's just when we go back to the beginning of the season or the end of last season, and neutral fans or pundits and the media were saying, why are you protesting? Why this? Why this? This is why. This is why the club is in a mess, and it's been in a
Yeah.
mess for a long time. And I just feel if there's one thing that kind of has hit home this season is that I think external people now understand. They
Yeah.
now understand. You see what I mean? The
Yeah.
situation of our club.
We've been saying it for ages, but you know what the mad thing is as well. We can't forget we're going to be behind everyone in the summer because don't forget we've lost near enough every fucking executive that works in the club.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we've got to
yeah,
go and
true.
get all our personnel in because
Yeah,
everyone's gone. So we're starting, late. We've given a deficit. We're going on the second whistle, as Gladiators reference there. Just show my age there. Shout out to Gladiators, great show. But yeah, like we're literally everyone's got a head start on us, and that's the problem. And I think there's a belief. I say belief. Some believe or some hope that us going down means Sullivan will sell. And I don't know. Like I think if we stay up, he might look at it and go, "Fuck, that was a close call. I better cash out now before we do get relegated because the money he could get for selling the club is going to be a lot less if we're a championship club.
yeah,
So if I'm Sullivan and we narrowly stay up, surely he's more likely to go, right, let me just maximize what I can get. Let's start getting a buyer in. Rather than if we go down, he'll go, well, if I can just get us back up and make us a
yeah.
Premier League club, that's where my head's at. Some people think it will go down and he'll go, oh, fuck it. Well, that's it. I'm out of here. But I don't know. What do you think?
No, no, I honestly agree with you. It's sort of like knowing how stubborn he is unlikely. However, with everything that's been going on for him personally, outside of football, there's only so much people can take, man. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of a thing where, like you say, if we do stay up, it would be the right time to cash in order to
Your
maximize.
losses, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, well, Brian, let's just get into it. How do you see Sunday going in your crystal ball? Before you do that, let me quickly read JB Leeds super chat. And thank you, JB. We have a C team out Sunday. Come on, you Irons, fight to the end. And we have been massive bottle jobs this season.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
not beat Leeds, C team would be the ultimate bottle job, right? No disrespect to Leeds C team, but just win that fucking game. But how do you see it going, mate?
In terms of our game, there's definitely going to be goals. I think it will be um, an exciting game that's going to be back and forth. I think we'll actually win our game 3-1. Um, I think our game will be 3-1. I think in terms of the Spurs game, I think they might do enough to get a point. I don't see Spurs winning. I don't see Spurs winning at all, but I think they might get a point. My hope is it's just that Everton score first because I know if Everton score first, it will cause chaos, absolute chaos, because they're going to throw everything at it. And then in throwing everything at it, yeah, they might get an equaliser, but it's just going to leave bare holes and at the back. So that's what I'm praying for. I'm praying for us to handle our business and for Everton to score first. I don't want it to get stretched out. I want them to score first and then know that we're winning. And then it's just a madness. It's just a madness.
Mate, I swear to God, yeah. I think our game is going to be cagey. I think we've struggled when it comes to scoring goals.
Mm,
That's why I feel like being a nervy game at a 1-0 win. Do you know what I mean? And listen, I hope you're right, mate. I need a chill 3-1. I really hope I'm wrong. But I see it as a 1-0 nervy one. And I see their game as potentially like a 2-1. I think Spurs will score. I'll give it to a 2-1. Evan, like you said, it's that need for the Spurs could get them a goal, but cost them in terms of the other end. So that's the way I see it going, and I really hope it goes. Well, I say I see it. I'm not like I wouldn't put money on it. I'm not super confident. Like the odds are still massively against us, and Spurs could easily get a point. But I can see that scenario, and I swear, listen, if it happens, mate, I'll tweet out and I'll say we should have kept Moyes. I'll say that. And what everyone's been dying for me to say for years, I will say it. Whatever I need, whatever stuff I need to put on it to help fate take our side. Shout out to All Boxed Up, £2 super chat. Longstaff added to Leeds players on Sunday. So wait, Longstaff wasn't available. Now he is. Fucker should have scored 2 winners against flipping Spurs when they played them.
You know what as well though, man, people in the chat, what you got to remember is, you know, when it comes to making these predictions, it's super hard because there's that heart and head thing, you know what I mean? And that sometimes becomes a bit of a minefield, you know, what you go with.
Because even with your head, like I said, it doesn't matter what you think. What we think, well, it's just nothing. Like it's not based on. Like I can't sit here and break down and go, well, they play back 4 with 2 midfield, and that's why they like this is all what we say is not. It's not going to play out the way we say it. It's not.
You
just have to hope the result is what we want.
Longstaff just don't want it to. Yeah, exactly. What I don't want it to be something where we're standing or sitting there respectively waiting for the whistle to go because, you know what I mean, there's a few minutes left, it's in our hands. I don't want no last minute business, man. I can't deal with that. I can't be dealing with that, man.
Oh yeah, I read it. No, exactly. I read it wrong. Leeds Longstaff added to Leeds players out on Sundays, and he's out. I don't know what the hell I was reading. So yeah. Listen, mate. I hope it goes the way you said, because my way is the result we want, but it's more stress. If I could listen, I'll take it anyway. But my dream would be like Everton go fucking 3-0 up in the first half. We go 3-0 up in the first half, and it's all cruise control, and we're chilling, we're singing, and we're loving it. But you know, we don't always get what we want. Just give me us staying up.
If we pull it off, I'm coming for people, man. Obafemi music, you're just going to be seeing me looking out like this. Coming, people. I'm going to have the shades on. I'm going to be coming for everyone. I've got the receipts. Trust me. That's the warning shot. I'm coming.
Same. I'll be there Monday with O'Hara. He's first on the chopping block. Tobes. We are Tottenham. Deji. But you can go the other way, and I know they'll be coming for us. And just please, West Ham, please, begging you, it'll be so sweet. It'll be so sweet if it happens this way, and it won't excuse anything. And listen, if we stay up, Nuno for me, it still has to go. I'm done with him. Get out of here, mate. After I see that Newcastle game, I don't want to see that cowardly football anymore. I'm tired of it. We've put up with it for way too long. So stay up or go down. Get Nuno, and it's not like I even trust Sullivan to go get the manager we need and all of that stuff. But I want to see. I just cut for a manager to do that and then have to change it up at 20 minutes. Just shows you know what the fuck you're doing at this stage of the season. You're playing a formation that we've never got a win in. Get him out.
I actually think he'll walk anyway, regardless. We stay up, I think he walks. I think we go down, I think he walks. Remember, we had to convince Nuno to join. He weren't feeling it, man. You remember at the very beginning, there was an additional meetings. They had to convince
Maybe you
him. And
shouldn't have.
I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? You coming in and saying, no, you can't bring no backroom staff. What kind of madness is that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that was To be fair, like, and I'm not going to give him too many excuses, but he did he did manage us for a good portion without backroom staff. But still, you don't need fucking backroom staff to tell you not to play Ollie Scholes at flipping right wing back and not to play fucking Andy Irving and Rodriguez in the midfield as a partnership. You don't need backroom staff for that, Nuno. Especially, you don't need backroom staff to tell you not to do that after you fucking did it against Brentford and it was a disaster to not do it against Leeds. You don't need
true.
backroom staff for that.
Yeah, for real.
So yeah, that's still a sore point for me. And the Bournemouth game. Oh, we're going to be looking at the end of the season. If we go down, we'll be looking at all these games.
The autopsy will begin.
Yeah. If we stay up, I will forgive and forget. Thank you, Nuno. Well done. Goodbye, sir. And he seems like such a nice guy. That's the sad thing. I really like Nuno.
Yeah, he is.
But I don't like his approach to football. I mean, I think he's a bottle job. Look where he had Forest, and you go, well, he got Forest there, but they were like clear in third and dropped like a stone, like an absolute stone. And some of the games they lost.
Yeah, I think wherever Nuno's been, he's played okay football. You could maybe say bar Spurs. He was there short though. He weren't even near that. I don't even think it warranted a sack, but he weren't there very long. Again, it was the ethos thing, innit? They were like, "No, you're just not for us." And they got him out the door. But I think this is the one place he's been where he ain't had the play. It's just been terrible. The lineup has been terrible. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Deji will be getting it. Yeah, with all of these ridiculous lines. There was a point. Do you want to keep Paco? I think forget Nuno. I think Paco's gone regardless. I think Paco sort of sees himself as a manager anyway, but he probably sees the mess that we're in, and to be a assistant manager at a club that's such a shambles as us is just a massive step down when he could be a manager in any league, other league.
I think we've gassed him up too much, to be honest. I think we gassed up Paco too much. Saying,
do you know what it was? Because of the timing of him joining and our turnaround.
Yeah.
And he has a little bit more, like, that's what I saw in Paco, which I think he's sort of just given up lately. But I want to see a manager with a bit of that fire. I'm so sick of these managers. Like, we have these wet blanket managers that just cry when we can see no goal. Like, fuck that. I want a manager that's on, like someone I can get behind as a West Ham manager.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out Roy May Jr., $10 super chat all the way there out there in Texas. I can't do Texas. I don't know what I'm doing accent. Sorry, Roy. My prediction for Sunday: I'll be shithouse drunk, have my bubble machine going regardless of goals. We win 3-2. Spurs lose a stoppage time heartbreaker. Moyes for president. Come on, you Irons. Listen, I will. He'll get my vote if he does what he needs to do, mate. He'll get my vote. Honestly, I'll be playing the Proclaimers. That should be the new national anthem if they start the Proclaimers for America. That would be the national anthem, and we'll pledge allegiance to the Proclaimers.
You'd want, like, so Everton are winning 1-0, and then Richarlison is through ball played in, is about to be 1-on-1, and then Moyes comes from the sidelines. He runs on the pitch and side tackles Richarlison.
Listen, I love to see that. Not today. It's for West Ham. Like, this is bigger than the Conference League, man. I know people think it's crazy. I just feel like it is, man. I feel like our club is on the line right now, So, Sunday. I will be here doing the watch along. We got Insta. I don't know if where are you watching the game?
I'm going to be watching it indoors, man. Going to be watching it indoors.
All right. Well, if you're about, jump on the instant match reaction, mate. And if you're about, join me, and we'll for better or for worse, give our thoughts post-match. Yeah. So, cheers to you, mate. But you do need to stay up, and we need to stay up. Oh God, I tell you what, it's Let's just try to. It's gonna be hard. But let's just try and not think about it now. Listen, I've had to talk about this game all week on 2 channels.
Yeah.
On like my solo channel and this channel. I think tomorrow I'm gonna have a break. I've got a video going out, another TalkSport one where I talked about the ownership and the protests and all of that stuff, and I got passionate. It got passionate and it got heated. So I'll put that on Lawless Live tomorrow, and then I'll just forget the game until the watch along tomorrow. So yeah, we'll be going live probably around 3 o'clock. So do come and join us right here. I'll be watching both games. I'll see if Jace will join me. Then we'll have instant match reaction, fan cams, and then Monday, the big post-match pint. Shout out to Ace, Bar Bilic, Upton Park. No foreign managers done well at us. Yeah. To be fair, we haven't had many, but yeah, the track record isn't great.
No.
When you look at it, Avram Grant, Bilic, Zola. I liked Zola personally. I did like Zola. I liked the football we played at Zola. I thought they was harshly sacked. We weren't amazing. We weren't fucking up and put in European places, but I liked him. Lopetegui, Nuno,
Pellegrini.
Yeah. We've had but we just hired the wrong ones. Like, you can't tell me if we got Irola or Glasner.
Yeah.
Like, it would just be shit. So, that's it. Yeah, and then the English ones, and we've had a lot of shit English ones.
Well, there you go. Yeah,
Potter, probably the worst of the bunch. Potter and Kirbishley, dead football.
But this is what I'm saying about the players. I know we're wrapping up, but like, there's always this age-old argument, right, around, who are the main people you need to blame. Manager, players. It's always something that often comes up, and you can make a case and an argument for both. But I think if you look at the Kirbishley era, that's one period where the players said, "Listen, we need to fix up. We need to change this. We need to change this situation we're doing here." And they did. They changed it. They didn't really need him to, they sort of did it themselves with a little bit of back and forth from them. And this is what I mean. I think, like, I always bat in that corner in terms of, I feel players need to take a lot more responsibility for in-game things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the manager can't help if whoever the manager is, like, forget Nuno, but if you got a goalie rolls out the ball or kicks the ball puts too much on it, and then and then the centre back is then not really making an effort to get all those like madness things there, you can't account for it. And that's where, when I do see Nuno get frustrated like that, it don't look good, don't get me wrong, but it is kind of like, oh, what the fuck is this? Do you know what I mean? Like, I understand it to a degree, but yeah, man, I just think players need to be held accountable.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And listen, let's hope they stand up to be counted on Sunday. Do check out OK Jerseys, by the way, everyone. We need to hook Brian up with some tops next time we put an order in. So yeah, scan the QR code, visit the website, code Nicky10 for 10% discount. World Cup's coming up. You can go and get your England shirt with Madueke on the back, or Henderson, or Dan, or Burn. Get Burn on the back of your England top. That really star-studded team. Take your pick. So go and check them out, like you said. Or if you're from another country, even like Roy, go get your Team USA jerseys. I don't know what accent that was. Let me leave before I create any more international incidents. So yeah, like I said, do go check out Lawless Live. I'm nearly at 6,000 subscribers on there. Check out the video I just did with Cundy and O'Hara. And like I said, there'll be a video there tomorrow. But join us for the Join us for the watch along on Sunday, right here. Big thanks to Brian for showing. Big thanks to Nikki for no showing. I don't know what happened to him, but thank you all for watching. We'll see you on Sunday. One thing left to say. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.
Come on!